Good evening, everybody. Finally on time. This plane is starting on a good note. Listen, we are not ashamed of the good news of conservatism, for it is the power of liberation. First to the Republican and then the Democrat. You are listening live from the nation's capital, the Exceptional Conservative Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my lovely bouncer, Mary Brockman's in the chat roll on SHR Media Night. This is SACKHEADS Radio Night. It is indeed. Mary Brockman, if you diss her, you diss me, you will be dismissed. We love you, Mary. Deborah Blair is also in there tonight. God bless you. We love you. Thank God for you being here. Dave Milner, the unpleasant blind guy and my very good friend, is here tonight in the great cave called theexceptionalconservativeshow.com. Glad to have him here tonight. Mrs. Biggs! Listen, pray for Mrs. Biggs. She had surgery today and she's recovering here, and it's okay. She's fine. She's healing. She'll be at peace. So pray for her and her strength and well-being. I love you, Kel. Kel Fritzy is jumping into the chat room now on SACKHEADS Radio Night. Kel Fritzy is the most beautiful Canadian in radio, and she also produces every show on Blog Talk Radio, even the ones that haven't been created yet. So God bless her. And ladies and gentlemen, what a great fun-filled night this is. I don't know if I'll have a chance to do the Democracy versus Republic. I swear we're going to get to that. I swear we're going to get to it someday this week. Even if we do it tomorrow night, when the underground professor, Dr. Michael Jones, comes into the chat room as well, serves as my co-host. Well, I'm his sidekick for New Day Black and Red. Don't know exactly how that happened, but why quibble over the small stuff? He is the #1 black man on radio for Urban Conservative Talk. So glad to have the doctor. And if we can do it tomorrow, that would be tremendous on Democracy versus the Republic. Part of our sneak peek into New Day Black and Red for Saturday on the Conservative Commandos Radio Network out of WNJC 1360 AM in the great sunny city of Philadelphia, PA, city of brotherly love. So we got lots of the underground professors in the chat roll as not Mary's fave. Oh man, Professor, while I'm updating my website tonight, I will be listening to your shows. All your shows. No, sir, you're not on tonight. You're on tomorrow night at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, actually, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The Underground Professor will be joining me, and he is the host of New Day Black and Red. I am his sidekick. I bring him his water. I pet his dogs, although they all bark at me because I'm black. So that's where we are. Tonight, tonight's big. I mean, it's just, it leaps right out at you. CKM Prof wants to bogart your show tonight. Bogarter. Raynard Jackson will be on the air with us at 9:10 p.m. today. 9:10 p.m. today. Raynard Jackson happens to be the president and CEO of Raynard Jackson & Associates, LLC, a D.C. public relations government affairs firm. He is also contributing editor of Excel Style Magazine, Freedom's Journal Magazine, and U.S. Africa Magazine. So he has a very controversial piece that he's written. And I must be the drag fly for controversy, so why not have my good friend Raynard Jackson come on. The only reason Raynard Jackson ever shows up for my program is because he's trying to smooch my wife. He's trying to get in good with her, okay? And I'm unashamedly using that perspective to get him on the air. He's a great columnist. I'm looking forward to it. He wrote a piece entitled Language in Thought and Action, and it's a very controversial piece about the GOP. So looking forward to that. Then at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, we release the KRAKEN. Yes, we release the KRAKEN. None other than Ralph Chittams will be joining us, and we will be talking about the Phoenix rise of Vincent Gray. Yes, Vincent Gray, the former mayor of the District of Columbia, former D.C. Council member from Ward 7, is alive and kicking with the foregoing of his criminal investigation for shadow campaigning. What is a man to do when all he's ever known is politics? It's to get back into it. So we'll be talking with the good KRAKEN on that one. And at 10:30, about 10:40, we'll be talking with Shannon Wright about Baltimore issues. One specific Baltimore issue that we will be talking about is the visitation of the first Muslim president, Christian president to a Muslim mosque. I'm telling you, this is going to be one of those shows you don't want to miss. And then we transfer over to the wonderful SACKHEADS Radio. SACKHEAD SHAUN, SACKHEAD CLINT. Oh my goodness, what you will be spellbound at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss Wednesday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, and certainly 7 p.m. on the left coast. It is a great joy indeed. Thank you, Dave. A great joy indeed to listen to SACKHEAD SHAUN, SACKHEAD CLINT, and Free SOCKO whenever you can. Listen, as we fast approach, you know what we do on this particular program, and things are just going to move exponentially more quickly than ever on this particular program, and I will allow my guests to do all of the talking. I'll just sit here and drink my tea. I don't even have tea, but I'll drink it anyway. So a gigantic show tonight. Yes, it is. I got water. My wife gave me water. You know, surgery is not an excuse not to cook for your husband. I'm just one. Please don't come out of your office. Don't come out of your room, babe. I'm just joking. Just joshing. But I'm kind of thinking, you know, in the days of yore, when I was growing up, my mom told me about how their great-grandmother used to work in the plantation fields, and they used to drop a baby and pick it up and dust it off and put it back in its little pouch on the outside and pick some more cotton for the rest of the day. And now you got a microwave. I don't understand. Ladies and gentlemen, I love my wife. I'm just teasing. I love her. Just playing. It's not about you. It's just jokes. Just jokes. Love you. What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Washington as I drink my chocolate. What was that? The professor said I was drinking sexual chocolate. You know what we do at this particular time of the show. Without a shadow of a doubt. And then I have a big announcement afterwards. So please, I know H&R Block is telling you to do something. Jackson Hewitt, and they all want to give you money and everything. But please, stay tuned at least. If you're going to cut us off, stay tuned at least for the next big announcement tonight. It's going to be a lot of big announcements, but this big breaking story, it's a huge breaking story. And it could cost you a lot of time and a lot of money. So please, ladies and gentlemen, find your heart, find your right hand, put your right hand on top of your heart, and pledge allegiance to the United States of America.
Ready, begin. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Woo! Let's get this party started, y'all. That's the way we do it, and I love those little kids. There's no greater joy than to have a group of kids actually say the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States. And please, none of you liberal rogues come into my chat roll talking about they're forced. Okay? Come on, get over it, people. Big news story tonight out of Washington, D.C. I'm going to put it in the chat roll so that you know that this is absolutely true. This is not made up. This is not fictional. None of that. The Internal Revenue Service is experiencing a computer failure, a major computer failure. Computer failures hit several U.S. Internal Revenue Service systems Wednesday in the midst of tax season, leaving the agency unable to accept some taxpayer returns, according to reports. The scope of the system issue was not immediately clear, but the IRS called it a hardware failure, according to Dow Jones. The IRS has started repairs and expects that some systems may remain unavailable until Thursday, Reuters said. Taxpayers can still work on their returns but cannot submit them until the IRS can take them again. The agency still hopes to process 90% of refunds within 3 weeks of filing, and most taxpayers filed their returns on April 18th, or at least by April 18th. The IRS did not immediately respond to CNBC's request for comment. Major story. Major story. So if your taxes got done today by Mr. Moneybags up at H&R Block, we're giving away $1,000. Imagine how much they got to charge you to give away $1,000. Just saying. But anyway, and please don't pay anybody to do your taxes if you don't. I mean, especially if it's a 1040 EZ. Please don't charge anybody. Don't pay to get your tax returns done. I'm just saying. Please don't pay somebody if you got a 1040 EZ. You understand what I'm saying? Just don't do that. But certainly don't do your tax returns this week. Please do not do your tax returns this week. It is a serious and major It's not software, people. It's not H&R Block software. It's not Jackson Hewitt software. It's not TaxWise software for those who go to the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Programs, one in which I operate and run that does it for free. It's not a software issue. It's a hardware issue, which means more likely they've been hacked. That's all I'm going to say to you. Don't do your taxes for a week. It's going to take you 3 weeks to get the money anyway. You gave them your money for a whole year, tax-free, interest-free, and it's going to take you 3 weeks to request your money back into your checking account. And on top of that now, their hardware systems are down. So you won't be able to get your money. Wow. Not Mary's Fab says, my plant was audited. Wow. Good, Mary. Have AARP do yours. It's free. Don't let nobody else do it. A houseplant can do it 1040 EZ. Well, they can, but some people are not very deliberate. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, a very good friend of mine has given me a great gifting that I want to display and give to you, and further details will be forthcoming. But his name is Raynard Jackson, and Raynard Jackson, not only a very good friend, but someone who believes that America can change and will change if we put our hearts and souls and minds together to make that change appear, to make it happen. But he does have some issues and concerns with the Republican Party and the manner in which they actually reach out for diversity. You know, everybody's reaching out for diversity, right? Yeah, okay, sure. He has an organization he started called Black Americans for a Better Future, Continuing the Dream. They have a big event coming up on the 13th of February. Okay, and it is from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We have been given the great gift. His organization has given us the Exceptional Conservative Table. The Exceptional Conservative Table. I have 10 seats available for this big event, which will have individuals like Jennifer Carroll, the former Florida Lieutenant Governor. Fred McClure, the CEO of George W. Bush's Presidential Library. Allegra McCullough, professor at Webster University Graduate School of Business and Technology. Ambassador Harold Dooley, trailblazing financier. Jimmy Jones, legendary ABA, NBA basketball player, LA Sports Hall of Fame. And Robert L. Woodson Sr., founder and president of Center for Neighborhood Enterprise. So it is a big event in Washington, D.C. My good friend has given me 10 seats in which I will be dispersing to individuals. And there's some quid pro quo, so we're going to work on that when we're going to talk about it. But literally, getting, especially for those who happen to be running for office, you need to get in contact with me. We're going to work it out. But big game. In fact, let me put this in the chat roll so people can see that I'm not lying. And the Exceptional Conservative Show has been given 10 seats. 10 seats for this particular event. It didn't pop up? Ah. Okay. Well, never mind. It didn't pop up. I don't think you can get it now. We'll work on it. Let's get my good friend. Well, actually, he's more along the lines of Francine's friend, because he doesn't like to talk to me because I'm a conservative. Let's get him on the air. Blazing a path for others to follow. All right. Okay, and we're trying to get to the 1 ringy dingy, 2 ringy dingy thing. Here we go. Sounds. Let's get that. All right. Good. Okay. Good. So we're good there with the options. Okay. Good. Let's try it now. Let's see. My good friend Ralph Chittams will be coming up at 10 p.m. But certainly Raynard Jackson. Let's see. Here we go. Let's call him. He's a kind man despite himself. Skype is up. Skype might be running through the same problems that the Internal Revenue Service is going through. Oh, man. They're calling. There we go. There we go. Settle down, class. Settle down.
Automatic voice message system. Raynard Jackson.
There we go. We tried to call Raynard Jackson. And apparently Raynard Jackson is not answering. See, it must be nice to be a big time player like Raynard Jackson, because you may or may not actually get him. Let me see here. We're trying just once. While I'm doing this, let me go to commercial. We'll be right back with more of the best in urban conservative talk. Yeah, I'm pretty skilled at this now, aren't I? Get your smokes out.
Right swipe. It's gonna be a right swipe. This man has shaped his chest hair into a heart. Oh, you stole mine. Right swipe.
Right swipe. Right swipe. That guy looks like my sister. It does. But I know she's not.
He's cuddling a kitten. Oh my God, I want to eat their faces.
Oh, she's hot.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's a lollipop. Oh, that is not a lollipop. Left swipe.
Left swipe.
This must be some kind of joke. If you think you're not playing, I'm not tight. If you're done and it's not enough, I just left swipe. Bye-bye. I just left swipe. Left swipe that. Swipe. You gotta swipe it left. Yeah. You gotta swipe it left. Swipe that. Swipe. You gotta swipe it left. stuff I don't like, so I gotta left like that. Look at you with your shirt off, flexing. You're buff, but you puff, hashtag perplexing. Yeah, you work out, you're in shape, okay. I like the six-pack abs, not the six-packs a day.
Came across a photo of this green-eyed hottie. Whole nine, pretty face, tight waist, nice body. But I just couldn't overlook one small fact. She smokes like an old man at a racetrack.
This must be some kind of joke. If you think you're my type, and I'm not type. If you're done in the cloud of smoke, I just left swipe, bye-bye. I just left swipe.
Left swipe that.
Swipe, you gotta swipe it left.
Yeah.
You gotta swipe it
Left
left.
swipe that.
Swipe, you gotta swipe it left. This is stuff I don't like, so I gotta
Left swipe that.
Mr. World Traveler, trips look expensive. Sitting on a mountaintop looking all pensive. I was about to ask, how's the air up there? But based on this pic, I guess you don't really care.
Lots of chicks in the pic, not sure which one's you. Them cigarettes are taking y'all from 10s to 2s. And one thing's true about your whole crew, none of you cigarella's gonna be my boo.
Smoking with the tiger?
Left swipe that.
While you're on a hang glider?
Left swipe that. Smoking while acting healthy. Left swipe that.
Smoking all stealthy?
Left swipe that. Smoking with a duck face. Left swipe that.
At a monster truck race?
Left swipe that. Smoking at the prom. Left swipe that.
Even in a photo bomb?
He don't care. Left swipe that.
Swipe, you gotta swipe it left.
Yeah.
You gotta swipe it
Left
left.
swipe that.
Swipe, you gotta swipe it left. This is stuff I don't like, so I gotta
Left swipe that.
You gotta swipe it left.
Yeah. Hashtag.
I'll never remember you.
That's probably true. We're getting ready to call now without a single delay. The great Raynard Jackson. Raynard Jackson. Not to be confused with Jesse. And certainly not Randy. But Raynard Jackson in the house. Good evening, sir. It's a great privilege and honor to have you on the Exceptional Conservative Show.
Yes, this is the Republican Trademark Office. Can I help you?
I wanted to push 2 so I could get my black card.
That's very bad. It's always good to be on your show, your holiness.
Well, it's good that someone actually feels the power of the anointing to express it so well.
Yeah, I just want to touch the hem of your garment one day.
Mrs. Big says hello. And you know her. Peaches, as she is, you know, and she sends her greetings and her love for you.
Well, I wish she would actually do what you just said she was doing and send me her greetings directly. I don't need to go through an intermediary. That's why I send Jesus Christ with that. She can go directly to me. She doesn't need you to communicate to me, through you, for me.
Well, I'm so sorry that you had to choose what this pathway was chosen. Oprah Winfrey said that there were many pathways to God. This is the most inept part, but nevertheless, it is. I am so proud of you, sir. You have a big event coming up next week. Can you tell us all about it?
Yes, well, I guess until we finish the legal proceedings, I am still calling mine the 4th Annual Black Republican Trailblazer Award Luncheon, where we take a few...
Whoa. You got... Wait a minute. Legal? What's going on with that?
Okay, so obviously you did not read my email.
Yeah, I did read your email, but I'm trying to set this up so that people at home can hear how outrageous it really is. So, let me try that again. Really?
I thought you never asked that, Your Holiness. So let me explain to your listeners exactly what's going on. 4 years ago, I went to the head of the Republican Party, Vice President, and said, hey, I have this idea. We should begin to honor, for the month of February, Black History Month, Black Republicans who have made a significant contribution to the Black community, America, and the Republican Party. The original goal was to highlight Republicans who were up there in age before they all die off. And so we started with former Secretary of Transportation, Coleman, who was the first Black to ever serve in a presidential cabinet. Gerald Ford appointed him to be Secretary. He was the first Black to ever be a cabinet secretary in the country's history. But more importantly, he was a law partner with Thurgood Marshall, and he was the first Black to clerk for a Supreme Court justice back in '42. Bill Coleman clerked with Supreme Court Justice Felix Frankfurter from Philadelphia. But more importantly, Bill Coleman was the brain trust with Thurgood Marshall, who actually argued the Board versus Brown education case before the Supreme Court. And he's a lifetime Republican, lifetime member of the NAACP, and the party had never done anything to honor him. And so he was our first awardee. The second awardee for that inaugural year was Bob Brown, who was out of North Carolina. And he was the highest ranking Black in the Nixon administration. But more importantly, when Martin Luther King was coming to D.C. from Atlanta, he would always stay at Bob Brown's house in North Carolina, as well as Bob Brown was the only person as the clerk allowed to visit Mandela when he was in jail, only an American. And Bob took Mandela's kids and brought them to the U.S. and North Carolina, and he personally paid to educate them all the way through university.
Wow.
This is the guy that Nixon called to bring Haile Selassie, the then Emperor of Ethiopia, President Nixon, when he was vice president back in the 50s, early 60s. He sent Bob Brown on a government plane to pick up Haile Selassie to bring him to the U.S., and Bob Brown was responsible for taking Haile Selassie anywhere he needed to go in the U.S. And so those were the two first honorees that we honored. And so from the first one, the second one is kind of watered down because, again, me trying to be a good team player with the party and their staff, they diluted the vision. The third year, the staff just totally X'd me out of the equation altogether, and they turned it into a minstrel show.
Wow.
Their honorees last year were Tim Scott, Neil Love, and Will Hurd, congressmen and senators. Now, while they're very successful, they're not trailblazers.
Yeah.
They've done nothing yet because, number one, they're too new, they're too young, they have not had time to leave their fingerprint on society. And so I sent an email to the party in November, or in December rather, letting them know that I had trademarked the name Black Republican Trailblazer Award. Not that I've been issued a provisional trademark that I was taking the event totally private, and I was going to do it myself. And it wasn't until this week that they decided they wanted to contest my trademark application. They've known about it for several months, and so they're doing a competing event in Florida tomorrow. Matter of fact, they're honoring Raynard Jackson, who served as Secretary of HUD under George W. Now, Alfonso is a dear friend, but he is not a trailblazer. He's successful, but not a trailblazer. There's a difference. And so, whereas my event next week at the Willard Hotel in D.C., one of my honorees is Ambassador Harold Doley. He's the first Black to own his own seat on the New York Stock Exchange. Now,
wow.
A Black guy having his own seat on the New York Stock Exchange.
Wow. Ambassador.
Reagan appointed him to be on the board of governors of the African Development Bank when Reagan was president, and so he spent several years living in the Ivory Coast in West Africa. So again, he has had many younger money managers going through Wall Street. He served as a mentor to many of the biggest Black Wall Street firms on the street today. He is a trailblazer. You have Bob Woodson here in D.C., who worked with Jack Kemp over the Urban League and has impacted the lives of thousands of inner city kids who live in public housing. He kept them on the straight and narrow path, and those who veered from the path, he has helped to reintegrate them into society after coming out of prison. So he has left his fingerprints.
Wow.
Not only black folks, but Americans, and the party has never recognized. So I got a total of 6 honorees. Those are the caliber of people that we're recognizing. And so what the party is doing in their feeble attempt to imitate me has so diluted my original vision that it has become totally unrecognizable.
We're talking tonight with one of the great trailblazers in his own right, and one who also has lost his black card from Al Sharpton, none other than Raynard Jackson. But sincerely, I've been watching you over the past few years, and I remember the first one that you did, and I was very proud of you and had you come on the air and talk about that. But now you have the GOP, who says that they're reaching out for diversity in the party, attempting to contest the trademark of a trailblazer because they have decided to go a separate way to honor their cronies and lackeys rather than to look at the Republican Trailblazers of past. Have you heard from Reds Priebus on this particular matter? Have you heard from the GOP? Are they saying anything to you?
Well, no. The only thing I get is through intermediaries, but they want to go to war with me over this issue. And people in the party, what I call the godfathers of the party, white folks, they're scratching their heads trying to figure out why the party is wasting so much time and energy over an event everyone knows I created. I mean, there's no dispute about me creating the event. So why they will not allow me to exercise my own intellectual property right is a mystery.
Which is a constitutional right. And I'm glad that you followed the trailblazing pattern of another conservative by going for a trademark. You know the Exceptional Conservative Show is trademark. Thank you very much.
So I'm glad you finally listened to my advice.
Oh, the great thing about wisdom is that you can claim it for yourself.
Hey, matter of fact, yeah, I should go and contest your trademark too, pretend like I'm working for the IRS.
Yes. You know what? I wouldn't put it past them. I just would not put it past them in terms of doing that one. But sir, you have a big event. It is Saturday, February the 13th. And it's at the Willard Intercontinental Hotel. My wife and I will be joining you there. And thank you so much for giving the Exceptional Conservative Show a table for 10 at the event. And we're going to fill that back.
Well, hold on. Let's get one thing straight. Your audience who have followed your show and follow me, they will very much understand what I'm about to say. This is not about you. This is only for my dear friend, Her Holiness Francine. My product that we have to deal with her. So long as we understand each other.
You know, you told me that you weren't going to say that publicly because now I have to live with my wife. Who will probably come from out the doors and lick her tongue out at me now. Oh, man. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sincere and very serious about that. I want to fill that table up with young individuals who are running for office in the DMV who happen to be black and Republican. And listen, there are lots of things you could be doing, like pretending that you love your wife enough to go past the cemetery and get her roses. But what better way to show your love and affection than to take her to the Willard Intercontinental? I mean, the Willard. That's, I must say, I am very proud. You got top shelf kind of style, man. I really appreciate that.
Only the best for Francine. Only the best. So that's because I knew she would come.
Woo, woo, woo.
Ken, you only gave your audience half the story. Saturday, February 13th is the reception with the honorees, where from 6 to about 9, where we will have the honorees on stage a la Oprah for about an hour, and I will interview them about their personal and professional journeys. Then, we'll have food and drinks, and you all will have a chance to interact with and meet and take pictures with the honorees. But then that Sunday, from noon to 3 at the Willard, that's when the actual luncheon and award ceremony will take place. Saturday night is just a reception for the public to get a chance to mingle and have private conversations with the honorees.
I'm looking forward to that personally. And as well, the luncheon on Sunday, February the 14th, from noon to 3 p.m. My wife and I will be in attendance at that particular event. This is huge. Former Florida Lieutenant Governor Jennifer Carroll will be an honoree. Fred McClure, who's the CEO of George H.W. Bush Presidential Library, will be in attendance. Allegra McCullough, who's a professor at Webster University Graduate School of Business and Technology. Robert Woodson, that's huge. Founder and president of Center for Neighborhood Enterprises. Jimmy Jones, legendary NBA and ABA player at LA Sports Hall of Fame. And the great trailblazer from Wall Street, Ambassador Harold E. Doley Jr. And I also want to mention some of the people on your host committee, because I was not chosen for your host committee. Apparently, y'all flipped the coin 6 times, and I wasn't included.
Yes, we chose our host committee in Iowa.
I could swear that there's some votes were missing. I want a recount.
That's funny.
That's why they pay me a few bucks. Anyway, you got Bria Marie on here. And who is Bria Marie?
Yeah, you've had her on the show. She's an up-and-coming R&B artist, and she's going to be performing as well. And
wow.
She is just such a beautiful person, and her music is just awesome. Look, she's considered in the music business the next Aaliyah. And that's partly because they have similar physiques, and she's just as pretty as Aaliyah, and more importantly, she's just as beautiful inside as Aaliyah was, and vocally, she is talented as Aaliyah, and she's a God-fearing Christian woman, more importantly.
She certainly is, and I enjoyed talking with her when she was on the program, along with her producer. And there were nothing but raves about that young woman, and I can't think of any better person to have on your team, especially reaching out to young people like Bria Marie. You also have Eddie Payton on there, Maggie Harris, Ronnie Underwood, Eric Small, Raymond Heaton, Janine V. Scott. You have a litany of just great individuals. Harold Doley himself is on the host committee. Absent from the host committee is Ken McClinton.
That's his son.
Okay. That's Harold
Doley III.
Okay. All right. And I apologize. Now, I noticed that my name is missing from the host committee. So what I'm going to ask the people in the chat room to do is to vote me in. Absentia.
So tell them they have to flip the coin.
They got to flip, yes. You got to go into your bag, get your purse, take out a quarter, and start flipping. I'm calling tails. So every tail is a vote.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I will let your wife know that you still chasing tails.
Oh, gee.
I forgot this is a family-friendly show.
Family-friendly. friendly show. We are talking with Raynard Jackson, who is truly a trailblazer in his own right. We're going to take a commercial. When we come back, I want to talk with Raynard about the state of the GOP when it comes to black, colored, African-American, Negro people. We'll be right back right after this. And I proclaim myself to be colored.
My name is Christopher Arnold. I'm the executive chef of Ustream Restaurant, and today I'm going to walk you through some of the meals that we prepare here. So we're making a pizza. We use French Italian sausage that we cook here and slice it up. Our pizza dough is in-house made. Our pizza sauce is in-house made. So everything is fresh and ingredient. This is our Thai curry chicken. The sauce is made with coconut milk and the Thai red curry. It is juicy chicken thighs as well as some mixed vegetables, served with jasmine rice and pita bread. So now we're going to prepare our famous blackened tilapia and grits, our fish and grits on the menu. And our meal will be complete. Let me tell you about our infused heat burgers. So we kick the spice up just a little bit with our infused sauce. We start off with 80-20 USDA ground chuck hand patty burgers, like half a pound of burgers, and we're going to grill it to perfection. After I flip the burgers, we add the sauce and let it cook on into the meat just a little bit. We're going to add a little bit of pepper jack cheese to this burger, spice it up a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why you're still waiting. 6339 Allentown Road, Temple Hills, Maryland, 20748. You can call 301-449-9000. Infuse.com, the best burger in town. I know Wahlburgers is coming, and they got Steak and Shake and all that other crap, but the best burger in town with all the bacon you want on it is at a Infuse restaurant. And for you feministas out there, they do have vegan. We are back on the air with a very good friend of ours who has given me the privilege of inviting 8 other people to enjoy the festivities at the Willard next weekend. 8 other people shall be going with me, and hopefully they will be running for office. What better way to announce your campaign than to do it at this very big event? And none other than Raynard Jackson's with us tonight. The event is the Black Americans for a Better Future, Continuing the Dream. The founder and chairman is of Black Americans for a Better Future. Raynard Jackson is on the air with us tonight. He happens to be one of the best power brokers in Washington, D.C., and we are so glad that he spent his time with us this particular evening. Not for my cause, but for his own cause, and that's Mrs. Biggs. So, so glad to have you here tonight, sir. You got this big event.
Thank you, my friend. Always good to be on with you.
Thank you, sir. You got this big event. You will be on Conservative Commandos Radio Network with me on Friday at 3:35, so thank you so much. We would love to talk with you then about this event. But you wrote an article that I have in my slightly confused with nicotine, dirty hands, and fingers. You have written a essay called "Language and Thought and Action," and it's like you put out like a Nagasaki bombing of the GOP in this. Sir, why are you so angry?
Well, it is amazing that when you make a critical analysis of a situation that people are not in the mood to hear, that they want to call you angry,
Yep.
disgruntled, mad, and all these other adjectives, as opposed to dealing with the substance of what I write. People want to get caught up on tangential issues like I use this word versus that word. I didn't use this adverb. I used that adverb. I didn't put a period here. I put a semicolon. But the problem is the party's actions speak so loud, I can't hear a damn thing they're saying.
Now,
with somebody would pray with
now, I just want to go to what was not written in your article, but happened earlier this week. And I might see things a little differently. But Ben Carson is complaining that Ted Cruz stole his votes. You, sir, your thoughts on that particular thing, and how is the GOP allowing that to happen in their own party?
Well, if I'm in the body of Ben Carson, I'm going to tell them never have that type of discussion publicly because, again, even if everything Ben is saying is true, you can't undo the genie out of the bottle. If Cruz did what Ben is alleging, there is no criminal offense. There is nothing that's going to reverse the election results. So to me, to spend 2 or 3 news cycles talking about an event that you can't change, that's not going to alter the result of the race, I say you're giving too much time on an issue that really doesn't matter.
Thank you. Well, actually, we agree. All right, so moving along.
Gary.
Isn't that scary? Peaches, I can't believe it. He agrees with me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat room, I want you to know, and thank you, Mary Brockman, for voting me to be the keynote speaker at the event that next weekend without the permission of Raynard Jackson. This is...
Well, you know I can't do anything without having a conversation with the boom. I mean, that's a moot point unless I can get her input and her blessing one way or the other.
So whatever Mrs. Biggs say, which means that I'll probably be sitting next to her for the event. But
probably a good bet that's going to happen.
That's a very good bet. Very good bet. I would put money on it. I really would.